The episode starts with supernatural events unfolding in Yayoi's room. Her plush toys are shaking violently, and the spirit she caught at the telephone booth is being torn apart by other malevolent spirits. Meanwhile, Keitaro reflects on his troubled past when he was isolated due to supernatural activities that ruined his life and that of a good friend. Although he hates the supernatural, he is assigned to teach Yayoi. He rings the doorbell, and Yayoi opens the door. After checking Yayoi's schoolwork, Eiko serves them coffee to drink, appreciating their hard work. Yayoi asks Keitaro to visit a haunted place, and Eiko supports her idea again. Keitaro explains he has other plans, and Eiko asks if he is getting exorcised again, to which he confirms. Both Yayoi and Eiko insist on coming with him, and they all head to Keitaro's grandma's shrine for the exorcism, traveling in Eiko's car. Yayoi is excited about going to the shrine and asks Keitaro if he gets exorcisms often. Keitaro reveals that he was cursed a long time ago, and now he needs regular exorcisms, pointing at his hand covered with a glove. As their drive to the shrine takes overnight, they stop at a food joint to eat something. Eiko expresses her excitement about reaching the shrine, which is full of dolls. Upon reaching the shrine, Keitaro's grandma comes running with water, intending to throw it on Yayoi, but Yayoi dodges it, and Keitaro gets soaked. Grandma apologizes to Keitaro, explaining that the water was meant for the little girl. She then scolds Yayoi, suspecting her to be the girl who destroyed the Jizo statues. Yayoi corrects her, saying it was not 5 but 7 statues. Grandma believes that the spirits are now haunting Yayoi for doing that. Keitaro and Eiko are shocked. Grandma asks Keitaro to ask Yayoi to leave, but Keitaro replies that Yayoi is assigned to him for tutoring, and it's his responsibility to keep an eye on her. Grandma warns Yayoi not to mess with Keitaro in any way, or she will be punished. Yayoi explains that she broke the statues because they were guarding nasty spirits, and one of them might be the one who took her mother away. Keitaro undergoes an exorcism performed by his grandma and a medical practitioner, numbing his hand. His grandma teaches him how to live with his condition, and Keitaro mentally thanks her for her support since he wouldn't have stepped outside after being cursed without her help. Yayoi tries to enter the room where Keitaro is being exorcised, but Eiko stops her, showing her a photograph of Keitaro's cursed hand, swollen and full of nerves, explaining that the nerves are cut with a sword while chanting Shinto prayers during the exorcism. After the exorcism, Eiko and Yayoi bring drinks and food for Keitaro and Grandma. Yayoi asks Keitaro to rest, and he smiles and goes to the bathroom. The nerves cut from Keitaro's hand are kept nearby, catching Yayoi's attention. Grandma then begins to tell a scary story, knowing Yayoi is fond of such things. She tells them about the shrine's memorial for dolls, where people bring cursed dolls, and the shrine handles the rest. The most dangerous dolls are locked away in the basement of the shrine sanctuary, making it a very dangerous place where no one is allowed to enter. While Grandma talks about the dangers of the basement, Keitaro, feeling tired, finds a plushie lying on the ground, thinking it got dropped on their way to the sanctuary. As he picks it up, he falls into a trance. Grandma continues telling Yayoi and Eiko that whoever enters the basement gets possessed by the dolls, as they are desperate for a living body to possess. At the climax of the story, Eiko gets scared, but Yayoi finds it fun. Grandma looks a bit shocked at Yayoi's reaction, and then Yayoi notices Keitaro walking in a trance-like state, holding a doll in his hands. Yayoi asks Grandma about the appearance of these dolls and finds out that Keitaro got possessed by the most dangerous type. Meanwhile, Keitaro enters the basement, and Yayoi tells Eiko and Grandma that he's been possessed by the doll. Grandma is already out of energy due to the exorcism she performed on Keitaro, and Keitaro's weakness made it easier for the doll to possess him. In the basement, the doll's eyes begin to shine with a red color, and the doll tries to possess Keitaro completely by putting its hair into his mouth. Despite his resistance, his efforts seem in vain as his eyes close. Remembering how he always heeded Grandma's advice not to enter the basement, Keitaro sees someone's shoes before him as he looks up. To his surprise, Yayoi holds the exorcism sword and is ready to attack. She cuts the doll's hair with the sword and then its head, threatening the dolls not to mess with humans, warning that she will behead them if they do. On hearing her warning, the doll's eyes stop glowing. She removes the doll's hair from Keitaro's mouth, and he coughs. Eiko and Grandma rush to the scene. Grandma asks Keitaro if the child Yayoi defeated the spirit, and Keitaro expresses his gratitude to Yayoi. He plans to get to know her better on her level since she is his first ever student. Grandma advises Keitaro to buy a souvenir for Yayoi and ask her to pray with it to calm the Jizo spirits that are hanging over her. She reassures Keitaro that his abilities help him and his friends overcome problems and that they are not a curse to be ashamed of. She tells him to come to her whenever he faces a problem. The scene shifts to Grandma waving goodbye to Eiko, Yayoi, and Keitaro as their car drives away. In the car, Yayoi is happy to receive the statues from the shrine, asking Keitaro to put them together. She also wants to show him her collection in her room. Keitaro looks puzzled, and Eiko says he's in for a big surprise. Upon entering Yayoi's room, Keitaro sees plushy toys violently shaking and starts feeling the presence of the supernatural, including the creepy feeling from the spirit of the telephone booth. He steps back, falls to the floor in fear and shock, and asks Yayoi if all these things are curses. Before he completes his sentence, Yayoi replies, "Yes, they are the worst of the worst," placing the same doll on the table. She had attached the doll's head using Keitaro's cursed nerves, which were cut out with a sword during his exorcism. Keitaro asks if she had taken the doll with Grandma's permission, and Yayoi replies that she will ask Grandma later. Yayoi believes it's dangerous for Grandma to be near the doll in her weakened state, and Keitaro asks if it's not dangerous for Yayoi too. Yayoi assures him that it's not. Keitaro then notices his nerves wrapped around the doll's reattached neck. Yayoi touches the nerves as if playing an instrument, causing the doll to bleed from its eyes. Keitaro regrets wanting to meet Yayoi on her level, feeling that each step he takes towards her leads him further away from the normal life he desires. He's uncertain if he'll survive this ordeal. Suddenly, Eiko startles Keitaro by placing her hand on his shoulder. She explains that nothing supernatural ever happened inside the house. Keitaro is shocked, realizing that Eiko cannot sense the spirits, and she is unaware of Yayoi's collection. Yayoi comes out of her room and reassures Keitaro that everything will be fine. She tells him not to worry, as everything is okay, and he will be safe too, but he needs to give her his nails. The episode ends on a suspenseful note, leaving us eager to see what happens next in the thrilling anime, Dark Gathering.